Back in the old saddle again.
Greetings and welcome to our Shoptalk. I'm Jared, you're John.
Wait,
Just kidding.
Sorry, it took me a couple of seconds to know that you were wrong.
I'm John, he's Jared. So last week, oh wait, what are we smoking?
Chair.
Damn chair.
This is McClellan's Drama Reserve from their Grand Oriental series. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to describe it because I'm not a connoisseur
year
of
old.
the Orientals.
No, it's almost, it's like a year and a half old. Nice. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, it's just right though. I don't know how else to say it.
So this is the pipe I smoke really spicy tobaccos out of, and so it has a little spiciness already, and the mellowness of this it blends nicely for me.
Shane over at Smoking Pipes recommended this to
Shane
me.
Ireland.
He's a good tobacco man.
Oh yeah.
Good person to know.
He knows his
So
stuff.
thank you, Shane. I was worried about this actually when he sent it to me.
That's just because you bought that pound of stock Oriental, and it was really
I know, but
weird.
this
This was good.
well done. What are we drinking?
This is an IPA that was given to me a couple of years ago or so, a few years ago when I didn't like IPA. It's called Acme California IPA from somewhere in California. North Coast Brewing Company, Fort Bragg.
Oh, have to visit.
Where's Fort Bragg?
Um,
North?
Yeah, halfway between the Bay and Eureka.
Oh. That's right. We're actually filming this early because next week, when this is airing, Jared will be gone with his wife.
Yes. Our annual brewcation.
Mm-hmm.
We go. Well, last year we went up the North Coast, from California, the middle of California, up to the north of Oregon. And what ended up happening was we visited breweries every day in the towns that we were in.
Did you take the 99 to the 5? Take the 5 to the 1?
Yeah.
We're
And-
the Californians.
Yeah. So we're going to do it again this year, but visiting different breweries. So I'll be gone, and you'll be jealous.
Yeah, you're going up to Oregon, Brad Pullman's country.
I'm going to have dinner with Brad Pullman.
I'm a little jealous.
Yeah.
So last week we talked about general shapes.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to kind of continue on that a little bit.
It's just we realized that sometimes people don't think about the beginning process of how shapes get chosen and the grain orientation. And there's actually a lot of learning and practice that goes into reading the block and choosing the certain shape that will go in it.
Speaking of blocks, we have some here.
Oh my.
That was kind of a weird one.
Well, this is kind of a
So
weird
these
one.
are called plateau. These are some unique ones to show you that not every block's the same, and not all the grain is the same.
Mhm.
And so you have to look at the block, guess the grain. Oh, I have some ideas for this one. Guess the grain, and then start your planning of what the shape's probably going to be.
Mhm. I have some thoughts about this one.
Not sure how a factory works per se. I think they just kind of put the blocks in the machines, let the machines do the work, do some finish work, and then what it turns out to be is, oh hell no,
We've been rickrolled.
hell no. Who is that? It's
Um,
New York.
yeah.
Maybe you should answer that.
Well, I'll call him back. Don't worry about it.
So I don't know how factories work, but pretty sure they kind of just put a block in the machine. The machine does the work. They do some finish work, and how it turns out is how it turns out. Grain-wise is what I
Right, and they produce so many that, of
Mhm.
course, some of them are going to be nice straight grains.
Yeah, out of the odds. And but speaking of straight grains and shaping and history that we've discussed quite a bit, Sixton actually designed a lot of the earlier shapes for Stanwell. I
Yeah.
don't know how many of you know that.
He designed like 50 to maybe
Yeah.
more percent of the first shapes in their first couple decades.
Mhm.
He was very involved, and I think he did all his sandblasting there.
Well, the cool thing about that is I assume that he helped them kind of orient their grain a bit, which I think was them, kind of important.
That was
one
one
of
of
the things that made Stanwell kind of nice is their grain orientation based upon the shape was pretty good.
Well, that's one of the things he brought to the table as the first artisan pipe carver was the grain is beautiful and we should get more of it out of the block.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
Right.
Orient the shape in such a way that you get a more beautiful result.
Which can also go back to the debate of pipe making, is it an art or a craft?
Right.
And I think Sixton had a perception of it's a craft that can be an art.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to show you the beginning stages. So we take a block
Mm-hmm.
and we clean it up a little bit because it's really rough and you can't see the grain as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we spray it down with water just so we can see the grain and then determine the shape. And then we draw a profile shape on it. And then to save our shaping wheel from a lot of wear and tear,
Yeah.
so that it'll last longer, we cut out the general profile on the bandsaw.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
And during this process, it's mostly educated guesswork.
right.
Based on past experience and knowing our cutter, our briar cutter, and his general results,
Mhm.
or not his results, but the way he cuts his briar.
Uh-huh.
We're used to the way he does it. We're used to the way the grain usually goes,
Mhm.
and so at this point, we're guessing what the best shape is.
Mhm.
We'll find out in a later stage of the shaping.
So we cut out the general profile, and then that gives us a closer look at what the grain looks like inside that
Mhm.
perceived shape. And
Yeah. You never
don't
know
know.
what you're gonna get.
yeah, there's no X-ray machines for briar,
Yeah.
so that'd be a good invention.
I remember a few months ago, I had cut out a bent brandy, and it was the most beautiful straight grain I have ever cut into. And I was so pleased,
Mhm.
and I was like, this is the most expensive pipe we've ever made. Ah! And then there was, running through the whole freaking block,
Mhm.
was a gaping chasm.
Mm-hmm.
But I only found out after I'd taken it to the bandsaw and cut into it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I was very angry that day.
Well, yeah,
I
there was
very disappointed.
there was another time I was shaping the IPA. I was shaping and got into the shank, and I was cutting the tighter end of the shank, and as soon as I did, there was this pit. I was like, better keep going. I kept going. It was literally a hole in the block about this big, and the block was scratched. It was bad. It was really bad. So you never know until the pipe's shaped
Yeah.
what the block is going to be. So it is guesstimation.
Mm-hmm.
So
Anyways, I hope you enjoy some of the footage from the beginning stages. We're going to continue on with the whole shaping motif next week, right?
So hope you had fun, and we'll talk to you next week.
Cheers.